Hi, here we go. Can't think of no better time now to get into this.
How
Ah,
you doing? Good
come
night.
on, Coco. Let's go. Got shit to do. Ah, let me make sure this motherfucker charged up. Okay.
Good night, everyone. Share this live. Share this live. Hi, everybody. I appreciate that, Nina. How you doing, Nina? Hey, Lay Baby. Hey, Serenes. You can go ahead and call in. There you go. Hold on. Hold on. Hello, beautiful.
Peace. Okay. Peace.
Peace, peace, peace. How you feeling?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. You look well. You look beautiful, per usual.
Oh, you got some nice style.
Huh?
You have some nice style.
Oh, I appreciate it. I loved your earrings. That's hot. That's dope. All right, Azeen. So, um, you and I were talking. Hold on, I'm just trying to see what's happening here. The other day, and I couldn't get you off of my heart. I told you how I couldn't fathom the things that you were saying to me and what was going on. So, you wanted to come on and just really express your truth and express yourself in your own words, and to um, really talk about some of the things that you experienced. First of all, just let the people know who you are and how long you were in the cult, carbonation, and let's go from there.
All right. So I'm Azeen. Peace. I'm from the Zulu'S tribe, and I was in carbonation for about just under 2 months, like a month and a half.
Okay, almost a month and a half. Okay, and let's talk about what happened to you. Explain to us what happened to you while you were there.
Well, I witnessed a lot of violence. I can tell you that for sure. We all know what happened July 4th. We all know that he also hit Malia. I was there for that. I was there for the fight with all the guys that they had when Zoka got hit.
Hold on, let's back up just a little bit. You said that Malia got hit.
Yes, I did.
Okay, so let's just go there. First off, tell us about what was the scenario, what happened, why did she get hit, and like what kind of hitting, like what happened there?
So it was a night. We had all taken shots, about 6 shots that night.
Mm-hmm.
The women, the guys had taken about 6 shots that night, so everybody was laid off Patron, and things got rowdy, and the women were in the room upstairs together, and Eliana was like, "Hey, I want to fight you, Malia," but however, she was very aggressive about it. She was very hostile about it, and Malia was like taking off guard, and she was like, "I don't want to fight. I'd rather just talk."
Mm-hmm.
And Eliana was like, "Nah, like we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight right now." And she was just adamant about it. Malia was resistant to it, and Malia had run off to go to the restroom. She's like, "I'm gonna go to the restroom."
Mm-hmm.
And so she goes to the restroom. However, the restroom is right in front of the set of stairs we had at this house, directly in front. So once she went in and she came right back out about a second later and ran down the stairs. As she's trying to run up the door, she's like, "I'm gonna call the police." And Zoka runs after her, drags her back up the stairs, and throws her through the gate that we had up for babies. And that's when Nature Boy stepped in, because Nature Boy wasn't fully involved at that point. He was allowing the women to take over it. But
Mm-hmm.
once she said, "I'm calling the police," that's when he really got upset. Like, then we're gonna call the cops on me, knowing what happens when you do that. So he took her to the room, and that's when he started beating on her. He started beating on her. All the women were in the room right next door, just standing there, waiting for them to return. And at one point, they did come out the room. However, Malia was resistant to come out the room. He was trying to get her to come back and apologize. However, she didn't want to, so he took her back to the room and continued to hit on her and yell at her, whatever. And he tried to bring her out a second time, and the second time she came out, she started motioning as if she was like, cut my wrist. But I couldn't hear her speak, and you can hear Nature Boy say, we might as well go get a knife. However, he just takes it back.
Hold on. I'm trying to. I need to process this because I don't understand what you're saying to me. So basically, who did he want her to apologize to?
Apologize to Eliana because Eliana was saying that Malia disrespected her.
Okay. So then, okay, and then he beat her in the room and dragged her back out to apologize.
Yeah.
Okay. And then she was motioning on her wrist.
Yeah, she was in a hallway because she didn't want to come back into the room. Like every time he went towards the room, she was running back the other way. And so she was like falling on her knees, going like this. We all know what that means.
So she was on her knees trying to act like she was cutting her wrist.
Right. And he was just like, all right, let's go get a knife right now. However, they didn't go get one. He just took her back to the room and continued to hit on her.
Okay, so he hit her for 3 rounds is what you're explaining to me.
Yeah, before she finally came out the room.
Wow. Okay. So, like, how did this make you feel? Okay, so before we even go there, you said there was a lot of fighting. You said that was what was going on upstairs. You said that there was more fighting with the men.
Yeah, the men were downstairs having the WWE going on. I don't know, everybody was fighting. The women upstairs weren't so much fighting. We were having spiritual battles that night. So the women were, for a minute there, we were actually at peace with each other. However, at one point it did change, but we were doing spiritual baths. So our men were on that, not necessarily the guys was downstairs having problems with each other and wanted to fight. And actually, what started the women is fighting is Nature Boy was like, all right, it's time for the women. Who wants to fight? Nature Boy up there trying to amp everybody up. Who wants to fight? You want to fight? Calling people out. You want to fight? You want to fight? And Eliana like, I want to fight with Leah.
So he was asking and promoting who wants to fight.
Absolutely.
Okay. That makes a very big difference because, that's obviously statutory influence when somebody's like encouraging you and egging you on to fight, which he tries to pretend he has nothing to do with. So you're saying he went around asking everybody who wanted to fight, and that's when everybody spoke up about who they wanted to fight.
Well, nobody spoke up. Everybody was quiet. It was all about Eliana and Leah.
Okay.
Because we had just came back from downstairs from seeing how the guys had fought. We went upstairs, and that's when Eliana was like, I want to fight you, Leah. And Nature Boy was like, okay, who else want to fight? It's time for the women to fight. And that's when he was like, okay, but mostly it was just Eliana. She wanted to fight Leah. Leah didn't want to fight. And how I felt in that moment is the question you had asked earlier. And the way I felt is, one, I commended Malia in my mind because I'm like, I'm grateful for her applying the knowledge, communication, right? She wanted to communicate about it. However, Eliana allowed her emotions to overpower her, and all she wanted to do was get physical. So I appreciated Malia for standing up for herself and saying, I'd rather talk to you about it. I mean, hey, I don't believe that we should be fighting each other. Like, that's not how we should be handling business, especially if this is a sisterhood and we're supposed to build each other up. So I was kind of annoyed with Eliana. I was grateful for Malia. However, when she ran out the room, I was just like, damn.
Wow.
I'm trying to escape right now.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So you're explaining to me that he asked everybody who wanted to fight, and obviously Velvet wanted to fight Tanisha. And so Tanisha went to the bathroom trying to get away. And when she came out, she said she was going to call the cops. And then
she didn't just walk out the bathroom. Her ass ran, okay?
She ran out the bathroom.
She ran down the stairs. She came out quick. Zoka was quick too. Zoka pregnant herself, got up super fast. Her ass was the first one out the door.
So Zoka pushed, you said, Tanisha back up the stairs.
Yeah.
So Zoka pushed Tanisha back up the stairs, and then that's when Eligio got a hand of her, and he started to drag her and beat her.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, because here it is now. First, he's beating obviously on Velvet. We knew about this, but now you're saying Malia is also being severely beaten on, and that it was several times that he went in the room and beat on her.
Yes. While I was there for about a month and a half, he hit on Malia that one time that I witnessed.
Right, but that one time was 3 rounds in the night because she wouldn't apologize to Velvet for whatever she felt she was being disrespectful about.
Yes.
Okay, now here's what I want to ask you. You said that there were other people fighting. What was the? You said there was the men. You didn't finish talking about that. So who exactly was fighting as far as the men is concerned?
Caliber, Solar, Kite, Drew, Loyal. As far as the guys.
Okay, and then was True? I understand you had said to me that True had an altercation with his wife. What happened there? Do you was there violence there as well?
That I wasn't a witness for that. Star told me about that, so
Right.
I have the details. I just know about it through Star.
Right. So she said that True hit on Sheba.
Mm-hmm. However, I didn't ask for details, so I don't have them.
Right. So you're saying that he basically is promoting violence. Like everybody was trying to fight everybody. The men were fighting. The women were fighting. Well, trying to get it amped up to fight. And then because Malia tried to call the police and run, he beat her and punished her for that.
So I'll say this: he definitely promotes violence when it comes to a man and his woman. Because he, the night on July 4th, you remember what he said? You got to beat the white man out. So we know that he promotes handling a woman aggressively. Absolutely. As for the guys, they really started fighting because someone hit Nature Boy in the lip by accident. That's why he was like, fuck it. Let's just fight now. So I'm like, he's drunk. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so he was drunk. So you find that when he was drunk, that was usually his behavior when he was violent?
Yes. When he has alcohol, yes, we see it every time he gets on live and he starts crying and yelling at everybody.
Right, but they don't see the back end of that we knew. Every time he gets drunk, he gets violent after. So they think they're being entertained. They think it's just him, being whatever. But we know that in the end, what happens?
Listen, in the end, he either wants to get some punani, and if you don't get that, it's gonna be his hand. So that's what it is there.
Right. Okay.
He just wants women. Mm-hmm.
So tell me about how it was being in a relationship with your husband there. Like, what was that night like when you were called into a meeting? What happened that you were called into a meeting by him?
Well, the whole time I was there, they really were focused on the dynamics of Shaka and I's relationship. So eventually it got to a point where Nature Boy wanted us to separate and to no longer be together and be separate. However, we were both in resistance to it, and so because we didn't do what he told us to do, he got mad at us and we got yelled at, whatever. But so my husband was like, "Fuck this," I'm tired of him yelling at me all the time. So he decided to put himself in isolation. However, so the night of when Malia got hit and all the guys were downstairs fighting, he had pulled his penis out on me while I was having my spiritual bath. So I told my husband about it, and we were trying to figure out how we wanted to handle it. And so we decided to, let's see how the next day plays out. The next day I had a meeting with Nature Boy. That's when we had our meeting. And that's when he was telling me that, he's attracted to me. He likes me, but he doesn't want to lose his daughter. So he didn't want me to say anything. He just wanted me to keep it secret. so he can continue to do whatever, but still have his daughter around. So I was like, I told him that I felt disrespected and I felt like he's inappropriate. And among while we were having this conversation, my husband walked in the room. So as soon as he walks in the room, he changes up the conversation. Like, nah, we just talk about y'all's relationship. That's all. So as soon as we leave the meeting, I'm like, that's not how that happened at all. And so I made us have another meeting, and I was like, you're going to address what happened because I'm not about to keep a secret like this from my husband. So he thinks I'm keeping a secret. And but however, he never confessed to it. So I was like, you pulled your penis out of me, and that's when my husband still playing his part, acting like he didn't already know. Like, you know, how could you do that? You're disrespectful. You're supposed to be the Messiah. You're supposed to uphold these morals and values. However, you're being a snake behind my back. And that's when Nature Boy was like, I'm not the Messiah. I'm just a regular man. It's like, whoa. But we have to bow down to you every day. Like, but you're just a normal man, you know?
Right.
That's when it was like that same day we left.
So tell me about, we're going to get back to how you left, but while you were in the room having a meeting with Alicia, you said that something was happening in the closet as well. You heard other things going on. What was happening in the closet?
Oh, Zoka and Stolar were in the closet.
What was happening there?
All you see is, you know, you hear a thud, and then you hear Zoka crying, and you hear her saying, don't do that, and then you hear Solar saying, you know, you left me for Nature Boy before, you'll do it again. And, you know, you just hear noises like, you could just tell it's violent in there. You could just tell it's violent, you know? And then, mind you, the bathroom is right next, the closet they were in was right next to a bathroom where Star was having her spiritual bath. And she's in there hearing thuds as well, you know? So it's just...
It was all over the place, all kinds of violence. Solar's beating on his pregnant wife. True's beating on Sheba. Eligio's beating on Malia because she's trying to run away and call the cops to escape. So when you say that you and your husband decided that night to leave, did he talk to Eligio about wanting to leave?
Oh, yeah, he told him. He was like, I want to leave. I don't want to be here anymore. And Elijah was really trying to convince him to stay. He was like, your woman's the devil. She's going to lead you astray. She's bad for you, yada, yada, yada. You know.
Wait, what? He's convincing your husband that you're bad for him?
He was like, he said, leave her. I'll get you 10 more women. You know, trying to convince him that don't be with me. Stick with him.
Right.
And Shaka was like, at one point, Shaka was like, I'm tired of talking to you, so whatever, I'll stay, right? However, as soon as he finished the meeting, we packed up our shit and we literally left. Like, we left 2 days after the whole fight with, like, all the tequila shots and shit. We left 2 days after that because it was just too much.
So tell me how you left. What did you have to orchestrate? Like, did you just boldly get up and walk out? Like, you knew that Eligio was trying to convince your husband not to go, even though he told him he wanted to leave. So what did you guys have to do in order to actually leave?
Okay, so because he kept saying he didn't want us to cause a scene, because he didn't want Eliana to know what happened, and lose his daughter. So we were like, okay, we don't have to let everybody know we're leaving, because you already told him you wanted to leave and he didn't want you to. He tried to convince you to stay. So we plotted on just walking out the door with our stuff, without being too suspicious. So we had 2 big backpacks, and I condensed everything into one bag, and I brought it downstairs, and we snuck out the garage. And they didn't know we were gone until like an hour later. They started calling us.
And how did you guys, like, what did you do to get out? Like, you snuck out the garage. How did you, like, who took you? How did you, what was your way to get out?
Okay, so the night before I had planned everything out because I knew the next day we were leaving. So the night before I booked us a hotel room. We had all the money in our account, so I moved it because I didn't want them to know that we had it. We moved it. And, I was going to Uber us. However, when it came down for me to find us an Uber, we're sitting there waiting, and no Ubers are picking us up because of COVID. There was no Ubers. We were in Vegas at the time. And so we were sitting there, and I was waiting, and the house owner came downstairs, and we actually told her everything that happened and why we wanted to leave. And she was like, fuck it, I'll take y'all. So she took us to our hotel.
So the homeowner in Vegas is the one who took you guys and gave you guys a ride because you guys told her what happened.
Right.
Wow. Wow, wow. So you guys had to escape. So Shaka had to pretend he was in isolation. So then you brought him a condensed bag downstairs thinking that they didn't think of anything because you're bringing a bag. So you're bringing a bag down there. Let me just make sure I put on Do Not Disturb. So you're bringing a bag down there so nobody can come in. Hold Not Disturb is so weird. So you're bringing a bag downstairs so nobody can be suspicious. And since he's in isolation, they think you're just setting him up. I just look like I got some. They think you're setting him up to just, be downstairs by himself in isolation, not knowing that you had packed up all of your stuff and your escape plan was to bring him the bag so you guys could leave without being suspicious.
Right.
So nobody had a clue that you guys were planning your escape.
Nope. No.
Right. Now, you did mention the money. I don't need to go into too much details, but basically, so they were controlling your money because you said you moved your money so that they didn't know. So did they have your bank card?
Yeah, so when we got there, they asked us, if we had anything. We told them, yeah, we had this. And so they wanted access to the cards, right? So we just gave them over our cards that we had. And then they also wanted access to one of my bank accounts I had. So I had to give them the information for that.
When you say give the information, what do you mean? Like, what did you have to give?
Like if you go there and you have food stamps, you gotta give your food stamps. If you got cash, any cash, even if it's like, well, they don't want your bank account to go, overdrawn or anything, so they want you to keep something a little bit. But if you have hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars, they want you to hand over all of it because everything goes to everybody.
So did you have a card? Did you have to give your debit card or your credit card?
I had to give my debit card away, and I did have food stamps. I gave them my food stamps card.
Okay, so you had to give them your.
I did give them cash. I forgot how much I gave them.
So basically, once you got there, you had to surrender over all of your belongings, all your money, and they were in control of your bank card. Did you have to give them your bank information, your username, your password, your social security? Did you have to give them that information?
Yep, I had to give them my debit, my Chase account. I had a Chase account, so I had to give them my username and password.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you also had to give your social security.
I had to give my social security. Yeah, when we applied for that loan, they had us apply for.
Okay, so definitely this was something that they had you do. Now, I want to just talk a little bit about. I don't want to go into detail, obviously, but you escaped. When you got your money, you were able to, move your funds so that you guys could take care of you and your family, your baby. Speaking of baby, Shaka, how's he doing?
He's well. He's getting so big.
Oh my goodness!
18 months already.
Yo, that baby literally was an angel. Like he knew who this man was, and he was trying to warn us. But I was so under the spell, and I was so taken. And anything that tried to go against him, we were ready to kill and fight and die for this man, right? So we were all like in attack mode. Once your husband came in, talking about he wanted to take, Eligio's place. So we were all already like, oh, hell nah. They don't belong here. We're going to fuck them up, blah, 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 blah. But because you guys had gotten the Airbnb, he had made us all chill. He was like, no, chill out, play cool. They paid for the Airbnb. Whoa. We got to play politics. Let's just do what we got to do. Now, I mentioned the spell. Do you believe that people are under a spell there? Tell the honest truth.
Absolutely. Mental manipulation. That's all.
Right.
I believe that everyone there, most of the women having had communication with the women, hearing their stories and what drove them to even going there, you can hear it. They're just looking for a savior instead of looking for themselves. You know what I mean? So they were looking for someone else to help them. So when they found this person, they attached to that. So now they're attached to him, and they're sucking him dry, but they're attached to him now, and they feel like he's the only way they can be saved, even though they have the power to do it themselves.
Right. So when you say that they're sucking him dry, do you feel that he commands them and tells them what to do and is like constantly belittling them and talking down on them? Like, do you feel that it's a place that he's actually encouraging them to be their best selves? Or like, what kind of spell is it under?
So, well, one, it's mental manipulation because I feel like the only thing he's mastered is how to control the minds of the people around him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he uses astrology to do this. He
Mm-hmm.
reads who you are, and he takes all those things that hurt you and break you, and he uses them against you, as he calls it, making you face yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But no, he's really allowing them to just even attach more to him and be so stuck on him and believe that everything he says is the truth. Like, oh, you're right, you're absolutely right.
Right.
So I believe that everyone there is just not. They don't have their own minds anymore.
Right. And so even when you spoke about Velvet wanting to fight Tanisha, do you think she was under the spell as well? I mean, because we can't just say she wanted to fight her as if it was not his energy. She's the one sleeping with him. She was the one with him day in and day out. So you don't think his energy was affecting her?
It affected every single person in the house.
Exactly. So when she's trying to fight and she's trying to use this aggression, it's because of what she's replicating from him.
Right.
Right. So overall, I mean, what would you say? Like, would you ever go back?
No. I didn't want to be in the first place. And you were absolutely correct. Every single day you told me that. I did not want to be there at all.
I was like, you were fake, motherfucker. Get the fuck out. You don't want to be there. I remember how much of a hard time I gave you?
You did give me a hard time. He was like, why are you here? I'm like, to be honest, my husband's here. But, I can't tell y'all that because then I'm going to get in even more trouble. So, but yeah, I never really truly wanted to be there. I was there because, like, Nature Boy invited my husband to be there. And we're like, fuck it, let's see what this roller coaster has for us.
Right.
Above just experiencing things.
Right. And then you ended up walking into a nightmare.
Right, because we were actually in combination.
Smash that like button too, all right?
So,
while you up in the building.
It works, actually. It works. So it wasn't this bad.
Right.
It wasn't this bad when they was in Mexico at all.
So you said you had spoken to somebody. I don't know these people, but you had mentioned somebody that you had spoke to Flo by, like somebody who was there a while. Yeah, and that they had said something about how bad it has gotten. Like, do you want to tell us a little bit about that? Like, what happened there?
I mean, I still talk to Vibes every now and then, and I told her about my experience there, and she was like, oh, wow, things gotten worse. She said that, they never actually witnessed anyone getting beat. So she was like, dang, now it's coming out in the open. So.
Right. Did they ever witness any bruising or any hurt or anything happening with Velvet when they were there?
Yeah, I believe they witnessed bruisings and markings that looked like she might have been beat or hurt somehow, yes.
And so what do they think is the reason that it's gotten so much worse? What was one of their call outs or anything that the reason they think it got so bad?
I don't really think she had an opinion on that.
Okay.
Or I had an opinion on that, and it's probably because they drink more.
Oh, you saying so? Okay. So you feel like the drinking is the whole thing. When he drinks, that's how the violence happens, and that's how all this gets escalated.
Yes, because I feel like when Nature Boy's sober, he's not that bad of a person.
Mm-hmm.
However, when he gets drunk, then you see a different side.
Right. Right. So, two other things I just want to ask you. When it comes to Baby Shaka, and I know I've apologized to you before, but it's on my heart. And, there was, every time he saw Legio, he would scream and run for his, like, he would like, ah! Remember how he would be? Like, he would freak the fuck out and he would scream, remember? So we'd be like, oh, what's wrong with that boy? And then Legio behind was like, oh, that's a demon. He a damn demon. That makes it. So we was all like, yeah, that's a demon. That little boy is a demon. But meanwhile, Baby Shaka knew and could see things that we couldn't see. He actually could see who he was because he's a child. Innocence of a child can pick up on that energy, right? So, because I was under the spell, I was just ready to fight. It didn't matter, baby, man, woman. anybody could get it, right? Because I was trying to defend this fool,
Right.
while I was dumb, deaf, and blind. You understand what I'm saying?
I get it.
So I just want to say that again. That's just I know you tell me I don't have to, and I've done it already, but it's just on my heart while I have you here. Just to let you know that now looking back, it's so like wow, you can see how lost you are. I could see how brainwashed I was, how under the spell I was, how not true to myself. Like children love me. I love being around babies. Like that's a big thing. You know what I'm saying? Don't read the comments. Don't read the comments.
I'm not even reading those comments because
Okay.
they're gonna distract me and I'm gonna get lost. But I was gonna say that you just wanted him to be something so bad. That's all they all are. That's all they all want.
Yeah.
For him to be the person that they want him to be. So that's what they're putting their energy into, is like tunnel vision. Like, no, he's the Messiah, period, point blank.
Right.
I'm not accepting anything less.
Right.
That's all it is. And that's what you was having, and I respect it. I don't want loyalty like that around me.
Right.
We all have loyalty like that around us.
Right, but you don't want nobody calling you the Messiah. You're not going to pretend to be bigger than everybody around you.
No, just the loyalty aspect. Fuck the whole hierarchy of it all. But we all just want people around us who are going to put that passion into the same mission. That's all.
To love each other, to be loyal, to be faithful to each other. So speaking of that, let me ask you that. Speaking of being loyal and what you've taken away, like how have you, what was your healing process? What did you do when you got out of there to get out of the spell? What happened to you?
Well, I'm grateful to have barely ever been under a spell, because the whole time I was there, I literally thought everybody just regurgitated everything he said. So I'm just like, I'm trying to be like, yo, like, should I just regurgitate this shit? Because that's all we do. But when I left, it was just, I felt weight lift off my shoulders. I felt lighter and freer, and I felt more comfortable. And it was easy for me to get over. I didn't have, I had nightmares for a couple days.
You had nightmares?
I did. I had a couple nightmares for a couple nights. The violence there, it can stay in your head sometimes. So after that, I was cool. I was back onto what I was already on.
Let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
So because you weren't invested, that happened. But I do remember. Do you remember that time when you said you had a nightmare while you were it was like your second or third day there? You said, I had a really bad nightmare. Do you care to share that nightmare that you had? That third, it was like I think it was like your second or third day. And I was like, damn, she already, remember I was giving you a hard time. But can you tell us that dream then that happened?
I don't want to talk about that dream.
Okay, I know. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, that dream was not, I really don't. That dream was, I still can see that dream vividly in my head now that you remind me. So I haven't thought about that in a while. So.
But let me, okay, even if you don't tell us it specifically, because I'm remembering everything now too. That thing was so vivid. But basically, what would you say it was a warning dream? Would you say it was something that's telling you to get the fuck out? Would you say it was a dream that let you know, like, this is not for you? Like, even if you don't want to get the details, but can you tell us a little bit about what that dream meant to you after you had it?
The dream told me that my son was in danger. That's what the dream was telling me, that my son was in danger and I needed to remove myself. And I had that dream in California, so it even took me a while to realize what that dream was even telling me, because my baby was crying every day. Then I had this nightmare about him, and then, everybody's treating my son as if he has, some disease. So it was just like, and then he got a fever one night. It was like a couple nights before I left, he got a fever, and I'm like, at that point, I was like, I gotta go.
Right.
Right. I had to go.
Right. So, I mean, wow. I think that's a whole lot that you just said. It's very disheartening that Tanisha is being beaten, and obviously, now she's going to be taking that position and, just going to be who he beats on, because that's what he does. Right. We know this from every single past relationship, from, the ex-wife, Maisha, the wife before, and then, Velvet, and then now, so everybody who passes through there seems to get this signature thing from him, constantly him beating, on his women. And it just has to stop. It just has to stop. Like, it just can't be something that just keeps happening. And everybody is just, is saying, oh yeah, he beats on his wife, he beats on his woman. I mean, you were there 4th of July. You saw what happened to this woman. You saw what happened to Velvet. I mean, when he body slammed her, it was like, oh my God, is she dead? Is she there? Is she dead? Is she alive? Do you remember that shit?
Yeah, I remember how I felt. I remember hearing the noises. Like, the noises is what stayed with me more than the visual.
Yo, the punching, when he was punching her in the face, like left, right, just jabbing her, like boom. When he had his knees on her shoulder. Like, this is a big ass nigga. Velvet is a but 115 pounds. This nigga was put his knees on her shoulder, and you could hear it. It sounded like a jaw breaking. Like, it sounded like crack, crack, crack. And it was basically in her head. He was banging on her actual skull, banging on her head. I can't make this shit up.
Right.
What the fuck? Like, I'm not going to say to myself, I'm going to get used to something like that happening. That was absolutely the worst thing I've ever seen, ever. And then the whole time he was doing it, what was he saying?
You got to beat her. You got to beat the white man out of her. She deserves this. She deserved it. She did it to herself.
She did it. And what he kept telling the men, this is what you got. What he kept telling to the other men with their wives.
But you got to beat the white man out of her. All of us have to get beat.
He kept.
That's why next night, Solar being on Zoka. That's why, you know.
Pregnant woman, I was so disappointed at that, because my thing is, Solar didn't want to fight Caliber. You turned down Caliber to fight, but you gonna beat down your wife who's pregnant with your child, though? You couldn't restrain yourself from that? I never even known Solar to be like that. Like, he, his name is Courtney. Like, he's a good person. Like, naturally, like, he was just always kind and always giving. And like, I remember one time the oatmeal was finished. He went and made more oatmeal by himself. Never knew, don't even know how to cook. But just so everybody got to eat, he would do that extra thing, or he would, go out of his way to be like, yo, Earth, whatever. But, Sybil basically talking to me, but saying, do this or do that. Or what do you think about this? Or what do you think? Like, always was very positive. Always had such a strong mind. And you could tell he was battling himself, because Alessio used to belittle him constantly because he was so strong.
I don't think anybody authentic there. So I can't even look at their actions as them being themselves. I think everybody walking on eggshells. Everybody wants to be what Elihu tells them to be. So they're just trying to be that. So I don't.
Right.
I'm like, Solar, yeah, he looked like a little soft boy, but no, he was in there hitting on that girl. So no, now you know for sure that's not who he is.
Right. And I mean, but obviously he never did that before. So you think that's him, or you think he's under the spell?
Oh, what? Like I said, everybody in the house under the spell. They're all. Look, listen. Like I was telling you yesterday, right? How can a man who just found out his birth chart a few months ago tell me he mastered all his demons? No, you didn't, because you only known about them for 2 seconds. So how can you tell me you mastered 14 demons? No, you still got something going on.
The key, the point that you said that really stuck with me was when he told Shaka that he told in the meeting, Shaka, you and Shaka, that he's not the Messiah. He's just a regular guy.
Right.
So oh yeah, and then what was he kept telling Shaka about Velvet? He said he had a plan. What was his plan for Velvet? Talk about that.
Oh, he wanted to phase Velvet out. He wanted to phase her out and just to be with the woman. He didn't really want to be with her anymore, but he wanted his daughter to be there, right? So he couldn't just break up with her because she would leave. So he said he was trying to phase her out and to be more with the woman and less with him.
Wow, yo, that's a grind. Like, that nigga is grind. Yo, the grime, just the shadiness. Like, and then you go and marry old girl, and then you go and put her under the, and that was all business, just to control and have the daughter. That had nothing.
Everyone Caliber married, all that. It's just crazy how they let him do that to them. And
then married, and then now, where are they?
That's exactly. They're not even with the person they on the.
Yo, they're fucking him. These are legal ass husband and wives.
Right.
Like, they're a whole ass married couples. Like, Sheba and True, Caliber and her, Brianna and Mente. I mean, like, Really? And they're now with you?
They just did it to protect themselves, I guess.
Right. To remember what he said. What was he saying? He wanted the image to be. But when the feds and everybody start investigating him because he was so nervous about.
Yes, monogamy.
Yeah. Because the Hawaii, remember the girl who stabbed her mom? He was so scared about that. He was so scared about going down because she was in carbonation, and he knows he promotes hate your family, disconnect from Babylon. You can't connect. Now let's talk about that. This nigga be trying to say he is not a cult. He doesn't let you do this. He lets everybody do what they want. You guys literally had to escape. You guys literally had to escape. And you guys had to make a way to convince him so that he don't know what's going on. And then an hour after you leave, he's like, oh, I know you guys left. Come back. Woo, 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 woo. But he tries to make people think like, oh, everybody's, doing their free will. Nobody's under a spell, this and this and that. Meanwhile, Malia's trying to call the police so that she doesn't get into a fight. And you beat her and drag her. And you beat her.
Yeah.
Like, who are you fooling, my dude? Who are you fooling?
Everybody in carbonation right now.
Everybody in carbonation right now, deaf, dumb, and blind. Like I was, deaf, dumb, and blind.
That's just. They need to be under new management. That's all I gotta say.
So let me ask you this. One last thing. I know I said nothing. But you had said something that I found to be interesting because we just mentioned husband and wife. So you and your husband, he told you guys that you needed to be separated and you couldn't be together.
Right, yeah.
And what was his reason for that?
Because he felt like we weren't meant for each other.
What the fuck? You with your whole husband and he's telling you two are not supposed to be together.
Yeah. And it makes sense because everyone that goes there to be with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the women go there to be with him. So I'm the one that did not go there to be with him. So it's like, let me separate them. And then let me test her and see if she on my team or not. Because his whole mind is, if you're not here for me, then you're not going to be here at all, right?
He said that to you, right? He said that to you. You're not here for me. He said that to you, right? You don't want me. Yeah, he always said like that.
Like she don't know what's going on and shit.
And he was absolutely correct.
So let me get this right. He's tried to
go get in here.
You guys told you guys not to sleep together. When you guys got caught, he found out that you guys slept together, even though he told you to separate. And then you two got in trouble the next morning.
Right. Yes, we did.
So you got in trouble for being with your whole husband.
Yeah, I did.
Because he was trying to separate you from your husband so that he could get to you, and he dick flashing you, trying to get you excited about him, trying to get to you.
Right.
Yo, and then didn't you say something about he offered velvet to Shaka?
Oh man, yeah. So
yo,
he did. He was like, so it was the day we left. We had called that meeting.
Did she just sit there and say that he ding-a-ling flashed her? Hold on, man. Hold on. I know I just didn't hear that shit. I know I didn't hear that. Did she say he ding-a-ling flashed her?
Exactly. They not even with the person. They on the.
Yo, they're fucking him. These are legal ass husband. Was so scared about going down because she was in carbonation, and he knows he promotes hate your family, disconnect from Babylon. You can't connect. Now let's talk about that. This nigga be trying to say he is not a cult. He doesn't let you do this. He lets everybody do what they want. You guys literally had to escape.
Literally.
And you guys had to make a way to convince him so that he don't know what's going on. And then an hour after you leave, he's like, oh, I know you guys left. Come back. Woo, 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 woo. But he tries to make people think like, oh, everybody's, doing their free will. Nobody's under a spell, this and this and that. Meanwhile, Malia's trying to call the police so that she doesn't get into a fight. And you beat her and drag her. And you beat her.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's after this.
My dude, who are you fooling?
I forgot where it was at.
Everybody in carbonation right now.
It's coming up.
Everybody in carbonation right now, deaf, dumb, and blind. Like I was, deaf, dumb, and blind.
That's just. They need to be under new management. That's all I gotta say.
So let me ask you this. One last thing. I know I said nothing. But you had said something that I found to be interesting because we just mentioned husband and wife. So you and your husband, he told you guys that you needed to be separated and you couldn't be together.
Right, yeah.
And what was his reason for that?
Because he felt like we weren't meant for each other.
What the fuck? You with your whole husband and he's telling you two are not supposed to be together.
Yeah, and it makes sense because everyone that goes there to be with him, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the women go there to be with him. So I'm the one that did not go there to be with him. So it's like, let me separate them, and then let me test her and see if she on my team or not. Because his whole mind is, if you're not here for me, then you're not gonna be here at all, right? So
he said that to you, right? He said that to you. You're not here for me. He said that to you, right? You don't want me.
Yeah, he always said
like that.
He always said that. Then I'm not there for him, and he was absolutely correct. I was not there for him.
So let me get this right. He tried to separate you two, and you guys told you guys not to sleep together. When you guys got caught, he found out that you guys slept together, even though he told you to separate. And then you two got in trouble for that the next morning.
Right. Yes, we did.
So you got in trouble for being with your whole husband.
Yeah, I did.
Because he was trying to separate you from your husband so that he could get to you, and he dick flashing you, trying to get you excited about you, trying to get to you.
Right.
Yo, and then didn't you say something about he offered Velvet to
So he was dick flashing, huh?
Oh, man.
You know what's weird about this right here? Like, I'm listening to it, and I'm like, she got this lady, Mama Azeen, to do this interview. But it's funny because in her book, she explained that Mama Azeen was with her husband, Shaka Zulu, and they was having sex on the floor in the kitchen. Remember that? In the kitchen. Whipping chickens. You feel me? Hey, all that old Rick Ross stuff. That what she said? I'm just trying to get the story straight. Because when I compile, I'm telling you that's why I be reporting on this shit. I'm going to put it all together and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Now, my thing is this right here. Now, if somebody said that that's what you were doing, that you was having sex on the floor, of course, y'all have a child, but a whole heap of people was around, about 30 old people. Somebody said you and your boo thing was, your husband or wife was having sex on the floor. So are you gonna be, doing an interview and shit with the person that wrote that put that in a book, a published book? Hey, help me out. Help me out with this shit, y'all. Hey, sometimes I get confused and shit like that or whatever. I be needing help, man. Hey, it is what it is, then. Hey, we'll ride with it then, it's whatever though, you know what I'm saying?
He was like, so it was the day we left, we had called that meeting and I was talking to him about what he did, and he said it when he asked me to leave the room, right? So they could talk man to man. And that's when he was trying to tell him, your woman's the devil, you need to leave her, I'll give you 10 more women if you leave her, and all these things. And he's like, how about this? How about I'll let you fuck Eliana just so we're even.
Really?
He said, no, actually he said,
really?
Next time Eliana throws herself at you, I'm gonna let you have it.
Wow.
Because everyone was starting to feel like Eliana was feeling Shaka. Because she was always talking about in the meetings, like Shaka this, Shaka that. So it was kind of suspect. So that's why he was like, the next time she says something about you, you can have her.
Wow. So he was willing to give his wife so that he could have you, because he has to fuck everyone. But you just said something you just brought up something else.
It's less of him wanting me. It's more of him trying to control us and trying to see what it is to bait us in, right? Bait Chuck in. Maybe if I give him my wife, I can have his whole soul, which is what he wants, your soul, right? That's what that was. It's less of him actually wanting to give up Eliana and more of him testing my husband to see, can I take his soul right now? I try to take his wife's soul.
Shit, girl.
Tell him, Coco. Come on. Come on. Come on.
You're gonna be spiritual. There's actually no uplifting, no spirituality, nothing. All you're doing is beating down every day, and then you regurgitating a knowledge that you're just supposed to go and proclaim. But on the inside, there's nothing happening that's active with that. But you did say that Shaka, Eliana kept talking about Shaka all the time. But the reason Malia, you told me everybody had an attitude with her that day because she had said something. What did Malia say earlier that day that everybody was giving her shade?
She had said that basically she said she had read an aspect about Shaka. She had read an aspect about Shaka, and that triggered Nature Boy to be like, wait, what? Why did you read that aspect? Why are you studying Shaka? You know.
Oh no, not that day, not that. Yeah, that's
not that day.
No, I'm talking about the day that Velvet and Malia were gonna fight, but he dragged her. Malia didn't want to fight; she ran. You said that whole day everybody was acting shady with her. What did she say earlier that day?
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. She was just talking about how the women were having a meeting, and I forget exactly what we were talking about. I think we were just talking about our family experiences, and she just was talking about her sisters, and then she was like, "Yeah,
Weird.
This was
all right." Now, peep game with this right here. Now, this what I want to know. Okay, now if this lady is the person that experienced this stuff, like why do Sybil gotta keep like jogging her memory? It's like she gotta, like jog her memory, like to bring her back in the remembrance of something that took place with her. Is that not weird? I think it's weird as hell, man. I'm like, why somebody gotta jog your memory if some fucked up stuff happened to you? You was in a cult. Why do somebody got to like help you remember that shit or whatever? You should be able to just, say exactly what the fuck happened, especially if the shit ain't been no longer than like 2-3 years or something like that or whatever. Yeah, you could. Don't you think you'll be able to remember all that shit? I think you will be able to remember all that shit. But hey, what do I know?
And then she was like, "Yeah, this was my favorite sister. I can call her to this day, and she'd give me a flight right now." That's what she said. So, she said that, and then her energy was weird. Got weird after that moment. So people were looking at her like, questioning her movements, and that's partially why Eliana felt like Malia was disrespecting her, which led to that. So,
right, and then she wanted to call the cops. So she was kind of planning her, like she literally ran to the bathroom and ran out trying to escape again, and said she was gonna call the cops because she didn't want to fight. So this girl was literally trying to escape, and she got beaten for it. Mm-hmm. And to the point where she was trying to cut her own. You said she was on her hands and knees, and she started slitting her wrist, like as if she wanted to cut her own wrist. And he told her, "Let's get the knife." Yeah. I mean, that's like who's with
Oh shit! Why is she leading the story, y'all? Can anybody explain that part to me? Now, I'm not hating that or whatever on the interview, but why is she leading the interview? Have you ever heard me interview somebody and be like, "Oh yeah, and tell them what else that you did"? What the fuck? Like what the fuck, motherfucker? Like what the fuck? Like, what were they in the interrogation room or some shit? Was they in the two-way wall and shit or whatever? Motherfucker looking through that first 48 or whatever. Tell them what else you did. Yeah, tell them when you took them cigarettes out the stuff. Remember you stole that pack of gum? What else did you do? How did it feel when you stole the gum? What the fuck going on out here, man? I'm telling you, man, this shit right here crazy, man. This is the greatest show on earth, man. How did the gum taste afterwards? Wow. How it tastes. What the fuck, yeah? Man, y'all gotta stop this shit out here, man. Come on, man. When you write the script, you gotta write that motherfucker thorough, man. You gotta write that shit thorough, man. We don't just look, man. We don't just go for anything over this motherfucker, man. We ain't just posting the video. I don't want to just post the video. I gotta see what's going on with any and all of this fuck shit right here. You feel what I'm saying, man?
And to the point where she was trying to cut her. You said she was on her hands and knees, and she started slitting her wrist, like she wanted to cut her own wrist. And he told her, "Let's get the knife."
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, that's
she lying. Look. Look. Oh shit! Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Do 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 do. I want you to look at her motherfucking facial expression when she do this shit. You so deep in love. Hold on, but it was like a fairy tale, my nigga. But so came true. You got somebody, man. Oh shit. Oh God. Hey, yo, I want you to check out old girl facial expression, man. Hold up, man. You gotta see this shit, man. This shit is hilarious, man. Watch this when she say this shit. She gonna be like, yeah. Watch this. Look.
Like, who's Messiah is? I mean, he told you guys, I'm not Messiah, I'm a regular guy.
Right.
But like, my whole thing is, wow, what if that girl would have taken her life? Now, let me ask you this.
Look.
That they hide it if they did something to her?
I believe they do their best to hide it.
Yep.
Oh my God.
He's gonna do his best
to
tonight.
say you left. We'll just say you left. We'll kill you. We'll do this and that. We'll just say you left because we in the trial.
I don't think Nature Boy dumb enough to kill nobody. I do think
I thought about it, Pat.
To beat them enough that they almost dead.
I don't know. I thought Elliot. I thought Velvet was pretty finished. I mean,
I knew he had some. Oh, I know he was practicing a little bit of self-control when he was being her bad, but he a big man.
So you trying
to? He a big man.
You trying to say?
I think he wants to break them physically. I don't think he kill him. I don't think he would. I don't think he's that dumb.
But do you remember him saying that he would kill her? That he'd rather kill her?
Okay, he did say Eliana. He did. You
Look at her.
Okay, let me just zip it. What did he say he'd rather before his daughter gets taken? What did he say?
He did say I'd rather kill her than let her leave my child. He did say that.
Did he say?
Word.
He said it several times.
Word.
I mean,
Hold on, man.
He said
Hold
more
on.
than his wife.
Hold on, man. Let me hear this again.
What did he say he'd rather before his daughter gets taken? What did he say?
He did say I'd rather kill her than let her leave my child. He did say that.
Ain't that he would kill her? That he'd rather kill her?
Okay, he did say Eliana. He did. He a big man.
So you trying to say?
I think he wants to break them physically. I don't think he'd kill him. I don't think he would. I don't think he's that dumb.
But do you remember him saying that he would kill her? That he'd rather kill her?
Okay, he did say Eliana. He did.
Okay, let me just sit.
Damn. She is just trying to just put words all up in the woman's mouth face. Ain't she trying to put words up in her mouth, y'all? Hi, damn it.
I knew he had some. Oh, I know he was practicing a little bit of self-control when he was being her bad, but he a big man.
So you trying to say?
I think he wants to break them physically. I don't think he'd kill him. I don't think he would. I don't think he's that dumb.
But do you remember him saying that he would kill her? That he'd rather kill her?
Okay, he did say Eliana. He did. You right. You got me.
Okay, let me just zip it. What did he say he'd rather before his daughter gets taken? What did he say?
He did say I'd rather kill her than let her leave my child. He did say that.
Did he say it once?
Several times.
Did he say it once?
Twice?
He said it more than twice.
Did he say it 3 times? I'm just saying, this was the shit I heard every fucking day.
Right.
I heard that shit on a record, and I'd be like, well, damn. When a man keeps telling you that he's gonna kill you, I suggest you believe him. Hey. Because that shit was, he would just let it run out his mouth. She ain't gonna take my fucking daughter, I don't care, I'd rather kill her, but she ain't gonna take my fucking daughter. Like, that shit was real. And the way that niggas held that circle, the way they covered everything, they would have hit it and did exactly the same thing that they were doing in the circle. Cover the circle, tighten up the circle, tighten up the circle, don't get involved. Remember what True was saying when we were trying to break it up and what was he saying?
He said, don't intervene, let it happen.
Let it happen. Let him do it. Don't intervene. Like, we was all like going crazy because he was pummeling this girl so bad. We thought, I mean, I've never seen Velvet that way. This beautiful queen, butt naked, crawling on her knees, body sent to the floor, choked, literally like up in the air, choking her. Like, I'm like, oh, she's gone. I'm witnessing a murder. I'm like, I'm gonna be part of a homicide. Like, this was in my mind, like, oh my God, I gotta do something. I gotta run. I gotta go somewhere. I gotta scream. Somebody gotta hear me. But them niggas acted like if you move, remember True? Get back. Everybody, if you're doing it, back up, close circle. Like, if you made the wrong move, was you not gonna catch a case? Was you not gonna get mad?
Yes. It was all gonna praise you. While
Catch a case.
While he was fighting her, we was all.
She got hype over that shit, did she?
And people just don't.
She got hype over that catch a case shit, yo.
You scared for your fucking life.
Scared for your life. You scared for you 38 years. You scared for your life. Go catch a case. I will go catch a case. I don't know what gangster movie she done been watching, boy. This shit getting good now, y'all. Getting good now.
Choked, literally, like up in
the air, y'all. Literally.
I'm like, oh, she's gone. I'm witnessing a murder. I'm like, I'm gonna be part of a homicide. Like this was in my mind, like, oh my God, I gotta do something. I gotta run. I gotta go somewhere. I gotta scream. Somebody gotta hear me. But them niggas acted like if you move, remember, True? Get back. Everybody, if the door didn't be back up, close circle. Like
True gonna tell somebody to get back.
Yes, it was all gonna praise you. While he was fighting her, we was all gonna get fought.
And people just don't get it. They think it's a joke that when I'm saying you're scared for your fucking life.
Imagine you, one little person, surrounded by 25 loyal people.
Girl, get my ass. What the fuck now?
Because these people will literally kill for that man. I'm telling you, these people will kill for that man.
Yeah.
So you tell me what you're trying to do. You're trying to be smart. That even though you know you put yourself in a crazy situation, all the rumors, sometimes you gotta experience shit before you really understand what it is.
Yeah. And
I take somebody else.
Yeah, I was trying to convince myself otherwise. Like with the rumors, I'd be like, oh, because I was regularly on the phone.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, shorty. Like, you this shit crazy. Yeah. What is that? Yeah.
Because these people will literally kill for that man. I'm telling you, these people will kill for that man. Yeah. So you tell me what you're trying to do. You're trying to be smart. That even though you know you put yourself in a crazy situation, all the rumors, sometimes you gotta experience shit before you really understand what it is.
Yeah. And
I take somebody else.
Yeah, I was trying to convince myself otherwise. Like, with the rumors, I'd be like, oh, they're making it up. Oh, because I was talking to him regularly on the phone, so he already got my mind like, woo, child. Like,
woo, child.
So, people like,
child.
Why would she be into him?
Her how he had her mind.
Now you're seeing more people come.
Damn, woo, child. He had her mind, boy. Woo, child. Damn.
Sometimes you gotta experience shit before you really understand what it is.
Yeah. And
I take somebody else.
Yeah, I was trying to convince myself otherwise. Like with the rumors, I'd be like, oh, they're making it up. Oh, because I was talking to him regularly on the phone, so he already got my mind like, woo, child. Like I was.
Woo, child.
People like, oh, she be into him, this and that. And now more people come out about cults and whatever. These like women and older women, mature women, wealthy women, all these women, because it's about seeking that spirituality. You think you're going to get this enlightenment. You think you're going to get this amazing experience of somebody who's going to teach you something to awaken you in some sort of a way, right? And so when you go there, it's like, oh wait, this is not it. This is also a lie.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. No shit fucked up.
On that note, man, I think I've had enough. My heart for the night, between Malia, between her trying to cut her wrist and trying to kill herself, and him encouraging her, between him egging everybody on in the house to fight, between him trying to punish you for sleeping with your husband, between you just said so much. I could just go on and on and on, but I'm just like dumbfounded. But I am so more than anything happy that you escaped, girl. I am happy that you and your husband plotted your escape. You pretended he pretended to be in isolation. You brought him back. Because listen, you never know. Sheba might be watching this.
All the women were downstairs. Yeah, they all watch you. They all watch you.
See, my goodness. Do anybody have anything to say about this? Anybody? It don't matter who you are. All I'm gonna do is just drop this link right here. I just want to hear it. I just want to make sure that I ain't tripping, or if I'm seeing some stuff that's wrong or whatever, man. Like this is like mad weird to me. I'm just trying to understand, like, how in the hell did she go from like cult member to book author to script writer to director to now she's a damn interviewer. I'm like, wow, like what the world? What? Nah, I ain't got no pit bull, yo. This is Coco, man. I be with Coco. You feel what I'm saying, man? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, motherfuckers always be looking at me like I'm crazy anyway. I can't have no big dog, man. Motherfuckers subject to calling cops or something, man. I got a little dog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's enough. Yeah, he's enough. I don't need no big dog. I'm straight on that shit right there. Yeah, but you know, what the fuck? Okay, well, all right, that's what it is. Man. All right, what's up with it, Perk? What's going on?
Hey, what's good, world?
Man, you already know. Same shit, you know, doing what it do.
Yeah, I see your little Ronnig that you're holding. That's
Oh
adorable,
yeah,
by the
no
way.
doubt. Oh yeah, he on deck. Uh-huh. He
I
always
just
on
want,
deck.
I just want to know why everybody talking about the Kmart thug.
The who?
The Kmart thug,
To
True.
my true? True.
Yeah,
What true do?
you know True ain't gonna bust a grape nowhere.
She said True was, you know, telling them to get back in the former circle and stuff. She was afraid.
True about is studded out as Master Short Bus, and we know he ain't gonna bust a grape neither.
Tiara, you wouldn't have been afraid if True was telling you to get in a circle when Mabaji allegedly was beating up Nanaji. You wouldn't have did it.
I would
You
have
wouldn't
been in
did
a circle, but I would have been grabbing tree branches and everything to rock his fucking world. Ain't no way I would have just been standing there. See the stuff Sybil was saying, it like I ain't gonna lie, I used to ride for a second because you know she had me in the sauce, but then I thought about it. I'm like, why the fuck you ain't do shit? Why was you just standing there? You got all the details, but what were you doing? You know how your mama say if your friend come back and say something somebody else said about you and you question what they said, what was you doing, Sybil? What was you doing? You was just standing
Yeah.
there. Oh, I was so devastated. I was scared for my life. Girl, sit down. If you had pedestrians there that you could have ran to, it ain't no way you didn't cry out for help. You didn't want to. You came there to write your book.
Now,
Just
now,
say
wait a
that.
minute,
Just
wait a
say
minute.
that.
She was being beautiful at the time.
She was being
That's
beautiful.
why she couldn't do nothing.
What you mean
She
being
had to
beautiful?
sit there and
Can you break
pose.
that down? Can you break that down?
She was trying to become chiefess. You know that.
Oh, so it was the chiefess mission. Okay. So why do y'all think in y'all own words that she kept making the attempt to, you know, like jog, you know, the lady she was interviewing, Mama Azeen? Why was it like she was trying to put words in her mouth, trying to get her to say stuff?
Either
Because she's trying to get them views.
in my words, excuse me, I mean tacos, either A, she got a proposition for some type of show or some type of gig or some type of I don't know, somebody paying her ass, or B, she the feds. One of the two, because she coached her through that whole. You ever had like your mama be like, and what else happened? So you gonna tell your mama what she wanted here so you don't get her ass whooping? That's the type of vibe she was giving me.
She
Right.
reminded me of Larry Elders. Larry Elders used to invite people on his TV show so he could talk at them. He really wasn't there to, have no conversations with nobody. He just brought you on so he could, have somebody to shout his views to,
That is
basically.
so true. I agree with you because it definitely gave me listen. It definitely gave me listening to respond vibes, and I didn't realize it was an interview until World said something in the chat, and I was like, "Wait, this an interview?" And because it didn't seem like one. Like she overtalked her, she coached her, she told her pretty much like she go. It's like having a job interview. They give you the questions, but inadvertently you know what the answers is, so you're gonna tell them what they want to hear. That's how it felt to me. I was just like, none of this shit seems authentic. And she like looking to the left. You know a motherfucking line when they're looking to the left. So Azeen, she just kept looking to the left, thinking about what she gonna say to go along with what Sybil was saying. So I'm like, bitch, why you asking? Excuse my French. Why you keep rehearsing, regurgitating the same shit that you wrote in your book? You trying to sell this book? You got a pilot for a show? Like what we do? Like why you keep asking her questions about shit that happened in the book? How about you just let her have the panel like World do, and let her tell her authentic story? Why you talking so much? That was my thing. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it.
Hey,
because we gotta make sure that you know that she real.
We got Sakina up here, and Sakina, what's going on, Sakina? My 3 kids is up here. I'm gonna mute up, man. Y'all can go ahead and talk respectfully. I gotta let them use the bathroom. I'm gonna mute up for a minute, all right?
Not a problem.
All right. Hey y'all.
Hey.
Hi, Tiara. I meant to speak to everybody on the panel. My bad.
Well, I just want to say overall that Sybil, she's just so fake, like
Mm-hmm.
she just comes off as an opportunist,
Yes, that's the key. Ooh, that's the perfect word.
somebody
Whoa,
that
that's
just kind
odd.
of promotes
That's the
themselves.
perfect word for her. Like literally, yes, that's it. And I was rooting for her. I'm gonna be honest. Like when she first came out with the book, she had me lost in the sauce. And then like, world, he's not biased. He more so just brings shit to light. Like, hey, y'all make your own assumption
Mm-hmm.
or y'all have your own, thought about what's going on. But this is what it is. So once I start looking at it in black and white more so without emotional involvement, because I'm gonna be honest, like I trolled Nature Boy, for a couple of days. So I kind of got an insight. So some of the stuff she was saying was true, but at the same time, people like World themselves reported on this same shit. So why did you write a book? What was the point of you doing?
Once
Like, why did
again,
you flow
for
over there? And you
Hello,
playing like you
y'all.
slow, girl. You not slow. That man, like,
Hello.
it's plenty of people that report on this stuff, and it's an opportunity. Yeah, she's an opportunist, like straight up. And I hate to say it because I was riding with her for a second, but now I'm just like, especially after this interview, that put the nail in the coffin for me. I was just like,
Yeah, I would go as
Can,
far
can,
as to say that the whole reason she went over there in the first place was so she could come back over here and write a book.
can I say
exactly.
something? Can I say something? Um, I just want to say that why she did what she did, I don't know. I'm just glad she did what she did, because one thing it has brought to us is that, I mean, we have speculated all about all the stuff that's going on, and we've had a few people come out and say, yes, this did happen and this is what's going on. And she has been the only person who's come out and put her entire experience down, all the way from the years of the indoctrination that she was under before she got to that camp. And that's one thing we have to realize, is that these people are indoctrinated with his rhetoric. He takes their mind, washes them of what their reality is, and replaces that with his reality. And that's just is what it is. That's what a cult leader does. So when they get over there, even though they haven't physically been under in that environment, mentally they've already turned themselves over to him. So what happened with Sybil? And yes, she's 39 years old. She is not the only professional, well-educated, mature person to find herself in a cult. If you look at all those grown people who were in Jim Jones, or all the adult people who were following Warren Jeffs or David Koresh, or um,
The
the
newest one is Nessium.
that
Nessium.
David
They just did
David
a
Keith
documentary on that one.
Keith Rainier and Nexium. It took 7 years for the government to build a case against this man, and he was just sentenced to 120 years for doing the
Mm-hmm.
very same thing Nature Boy is doing. So
Yeah.
one way of a person to heal from their experience, for some people, it's just go within solitude and process it.
and
Process
I'm
it.
Mm-hmm.
sorry,
For
could you say
some
the name of the
people,
person again that was just convicted?
Keith Rainier, Keithrainier, Keith
Okay, thank
Rainier.
you.
Yes.
And what he
Nexium.
did was, it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be a leadership group. And yeah, it's supposed to be a leadership group, and you come and you know how to present yourselves. These were not stupid people. These were
Mm-mm.
well-educated people with a bunch of money. And he sucked them in. And the next thing you know, he's got these people, he's got these young women recruiting other women to come in and brand themselves with his initials. The same stuff, he separated the women from the men, and basically he didn't have any men. They were all women. So the young women were recruiting other women, and the only person he was, guess who the only person they were having sex with? Who is it? Keith Rainier. He was the only one. And that's
You
the
make
same
some
thing
good points. I'm gonna be honest. You
that
really do. You
that
make some really good points.
that Nature Boy does. And I am so glad that that world, I don't
That
know if
civil,
everybody
yeah.
caught it. If that world shows those news clips of the guy in San Diego, wherever he was, who had brainwashed his family and was having children with his daughters and his nieces. And the two boys were going to, how the cops got to them is that the boys were going to community college, and the other young kids had to stay at home, but somehow they interacted with some people around them, the boys did, and it brought the police back to that house. And that's how that whole thing was discovered. Now,
We're
after
gonna have
that,
to play that back. I didn't see that. That's wow. That's
exactly,
interesting.
he needs to play that because they had, I don't know, he killed a bunch of them, and basically all these people were brainwashed. I mean, they had their own, like just like Nature Boy, to made up his own religion with its own codes and creeds and all, um, vocabulary, all those things that happens in the cult. This guy was doing that, and this is the same thing that Nature Boy is doing, and it is. I just I know we'll probably get tired of me coming on here and saying this, but I try to say as much as I can is that this is real. This is not
Mm.
scripted. That lady, Sybil, came back, like I was saying. Some people go within and just stay right there, and some people have to write it down and get it out. And yeah, her book had a bunch of grammatical errors. It was poorly written, so forth and so on. I think she was just writing as fast as she could to make sure she got down everything that she could remember, because over time she might forget something. So she put that down. And because it was so this is so important, people are being harmed. She's like, I don't care if the book hasn't been, whatever they call it when the person looks through it. I don't care. Let it be, go out on, unfinished or whatever. And I just want the information out that so that it will cause us to have conversations about what's happening and bring us back to the truth of the matter, that this man is luring, I call them barely legal young adults who don't know themselves and who were in search of why God or the creator purposed them. If we all can remember that time in our lives when you're like, well, what am I here for? What am I supposed to do? And that's what they were asking about themselves, and they started searching. And when he talks about you come into my you vibrate to me, well, that's very true. They were out there searching on
That's
a certain
extremely true.
vibration, and they vibrated right to him. And because of their inexperience, they know, just gullible, right? They don't know much. They haven't lived long enough to research, all of our ancestors who's written about all this stuff. They have the internet. And what happens with these young people is the internet. They go one thing, they Google it, and then they maybe read like 2 or 3 articles, and then that's it. They don't go any further, or they don't cross reference. They don't do any of that. So when and if you listen to them, a lot of them will say, I was looking, and he was saying just what I was saying. His thinking was just what I was thinking. And then there they go. And then from that, he says he DMs them. He's got those guys recruiting these women, these girls. So those men are recruiting women thinking that they're coming over there for those men, when that's not the case. Nature Boy have all these people lined up, and they're like, oh, this one good, this, and he just goes down the list, and whatever that's appealing to him, then he then takes that person, he gets in their DM to open up a line of communication, and then they're talking on the phone, and by that time they're sharing all of their dark secrets, and he's got them changing their names and changing their diets and getting on declaring themselves as immortal. He's changing all of who they are. He is disconnecting them from their reality. He's
Well, that's
disconnecting
all a
them.
part of the MK Ultra programming. You give them a new personality.
And that's just what I want to say, is that if we can keep that in mind as we're listening to this. And yeah, people might be, I don't know if she's working for the feds or for the marshals. All I know is that I see a woman who went through some things, and because she's old, when that shit started hitting her, the experience she had in life, it washed away whatever clouds or veil that was in her face, and she left. And she left. So if she is working with the feds or whoever, that takes time. And we all know that this man has they're keeping an eye on him, and I hope now that 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 they are taking a hard look at this man, because
Mhm.
we are talking about it, but we got to keep talking about it in the realness of what it is. And if we keep saying, oh, this just imagine, and no, it's not imaginary, it's not artificial, it's none of that, it's real. And these young people, whatever they were purposed for, I hope to God that they make it out of this, and this will reveal to them who they are and why God put them here.
Well,
That's
the
all.
other reason why he's choosing them so young is because when you do MK Ultra programming, it breaks down around the age of 25. It will not hold as well on somebody that's over that age. You can
And that's
still do
because
it, but
it's
it's
the
not going
frontal
to
it,
be
it's the
as
frontal lobe.
effective on somebody
It's
that's
it's
older.
it's
It
the
takes
frontal
way more
lobe.
effort to maintain
The
it.
frontal lobe is not developed. It does not reach maturity and its full function until you're 25. So literally, he's working with people whose brains aren't developed.
Okay, can I start right? Purple, right there.
Yeah.
You just said
Hmm.
something. This is Aurelia, and I want to say hey to all you queens up here and king world.
Hey, how you doing, hon?
Right
Hey.
there, what she just said. Hello, sweethearts. Listen, right there, what you just said, Purple. You said about the frontal lobe. It doesn't develop until you turn 25, right? 25.
The-
When we
Yeah,
dealing
that
with
was
a
the other
39,
lady, but yeah, she's corrected. It takes time
okay,
for your frontal lobe to develop.
okay, but I'm gonna make a point
Hmm.
because we dealing
Yes,
with
ma'am.
a 39-year-old woman here. Now check this out, because I ordered her book. Even though Key World
Hmm.
had read it to us, I wanted to read it to myself. And I wanted to get a little close with it because what we're looking at, that's what it's saying. When we say imagination, you have to bring it all the way around full circle. What imagination are we saying? And it's the same thing of what I always try to put out. And I, like I said, I know that some people get tired of hearing the regurgitation of it all, but it is the truth. It's no difference what you see. What he's doing is mirroring the higher ups. Now Silva, now I'm going. We got to go back. If we go back to Silva past, if we go back to Silva past now, we looking at a video
Right.
star. She want to be in the music industry. You got to think.
Exactly.
Listen now. We talk about a woman, and we don't. You're right, Purple. The way a woman would conduct herself is different than what a young woman would do.
Exactly.
Now, she had a chance to look at Eligio, like we have, and many others for like 3 years, right? So she's go
Mm-hmm.
over there because she heard the key word that she needed to hear. I keep telling everybody, it's all in there. She heard the key word when he kept
What's
telling
the
them.
key word?
The key word is, I need an older woman.
Exactly. Tell him,
You
Mr.
young
Wonder.
woman, this
Yes.
young woman, this
Yes.
older woman thought she was gonna go over there and be able to do better than that young lady and be able to rock that world. Okay, it didn't go as way as she probably thought, but it's no different than what you see, what the world does on this TV. Everything that we see from the right wing and the left wing, how they all
Correct.
play in the front of the media. How they all play in front of the media, but at the end of the day, all of them still go out to eat together, and they be in the same circles and laughing and talking with one another. But before the public, they acting like everything they fighting one another. In this case here, where I'm getting at here with Silver, in this case here, my mind go back to now. I'm reading the book. I'm listening to everything she's saying. And yes, the Most High will allow things to happen, even in
Oh, definitely.
even in her own reason, her own personal reason. Because you got to think fame, and all of these things. Because she was already in the industry and trying to get into the industry big before she even got with Eligio. He
Correct.
will
And this
use
is
that.
also
Yes,
proof
he
that
will.
he's
He will
down with the
use
get
that.
down.
Come on now. He will use that if that's
Yes.
going to be the case. Now let's go on what you said. What she has revealed. What has she revealed? Do you not know, Purple? And this is real talking. This to everybody. Do you
No,
not know that
that
the
wasn't me
elite
that
She
said
elite
that,
hasn't
honey.
revealed nothing. She just put it on paper. It's just
That
in black
wasn't
and
me.
white.
hear me out
Period.
though. Hear me out. Hear me out just for 1 second. Do you
Sure.
not know that the elites will allow? We see it on TV. We see it through the celebrities. We see it all the time. They allow you to reveal what they want you to reveal. If it's
Exactly.
for a
Oh, of
purpose
course.
to keep somebody.
Exactly.
Check this out though. When we
Mm-hmm.
all sat there, who is her handler? Because she got a handler. The one who
Yep.
Oh,
told her if
most certainly.
listen, when that sister was doing that live that day and she was going and busting out and she was talking to um baby girl, the one that whooped Velvet and Malia.
Hmm.
When she was talking to him, and then she began to go on to a rant, and somebody whispered in her ear, say carbonation. That 39-year-old lady had to be sitting in front of that camera and still be coached. Be
Exactly, Miss
coached before the
Aurelia.
world.
Yes, I
See,
remember
that's what
that.
I'm saying. You got to look at
Mm-hmm.
everything. When you're reading this book, you see the mind of Nature Boy. She still was controlling the whole narrative, like she came over there as grand. And my
Exactly.
mind was deeper than theirs. And I was the one that tried to tell these young girls,
Exactly.
and I wasn't touched like they was touched, and she really wasn't.
That
Because you got to
that
think,
I
go
think
back to that front of nose.
that I think was that was the again, I go back to um that false sense of whatever he put into her. Sybil, I'm speaking
Hmm.
about,
Mm-hmm.
that's what she took over there with her, and that's how she saw things, whether it was to usurp Velvet's position or be the motherly type or whatever condition
Sweetheart,
she what
can,
let's
can,
just
can I
let me
say
finish.
this? Can I
No,
say
Let me
this? And
no,
can I
it's
just
okay.
finish
And
my
no
it's
thought?
no
purple.
disrespect, but no, no, no. She knew
Purple. Can I say
exactly.
this? And it's okay too. It's
That's
okay
not
regardless of
purple
what you're
though. You
saying.
keep mixing me up with the
I
other
just want.
lady. That's not me.
Yeah.
Can I say? Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I'm sorry. Who is it?
Sorry,
I'm sorry.
sorry, Miss Aurelia. Go ahead.
I
Yeah.
apologize. I
No,
apologize.
go ahead, Miss Aurelia.
No, but that's what I'm saying is, don't you know that that's how the enemy will use it? She's right where she wants to be, because see that
Mm-hmm.
gave her exposure regardless of what.
Mm-hmm.
Even if she had to get something out of the deal, regardless of what, and they will allow her to reveal what it is that she needs to reveal, even for the
Jenny gonna
purpose
beat
of
you. You take
their
all that,
benefit of pushing
all
their
the skittles.
agenda. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Hey, look, when one person
Sorry about
talking,
that.
hey, look now, whoever
Oh, I
that's
need to shut down,
talking,
King.
nah, listen, whoever that's talking, everybody else just kind of mute up, man, so everybody else can hear what the person is saying, because it's kind of confused because everybody keep coming in, like they keep commenting and stuff.
Okay, I'll be quiet, King, on this one. Go ahead. Who was talking?
I want to move it around the board, but I just want to hear all of y'all, you know what I'm saying, and what y'all think about this situation. I mean, you making valid points. Everybody's making valid points. It's just that at times I understand everybody, you know what I'm saying, want to get in what they're saying, you know what I'm saying, and it get kind of confusing because we can't
Exactly.
understand everybody. That's all that it is. But y'all go ahead and set it out.
I just want to finish my thought. Um, for whatever reason, however she got there, I don't care. Whether she has a handler or not, I don't care. My concern is for those young people that are over there, and the young people, the uninformed, the unaware, the inexperienced, the gullible, the stupid, the easily led people that are watching him on YouTube and Instagram. That's my concern. That he isn't allowed to continue to run rampant in our community. And if the law enforcement or the authorities won't step in and do anything, then however we can do it, we need to do it. And if the only thing that we can do is get on YouTube and go on Instagram and denounce what this man is doing, perhaps one of those girls might sneak away and listen to the real, and that might wake them up. Or somebody who is thinking about going might catch a commentary from a channel or YouTube channel, and that stops them in their tracks. So that's really my primary concern. We are all manipulated and handled by a lot of things. And yes, once we need to become aware of those things so that those things do not have that pull on us. And I sincerely hope that those strings can be clipped or not even be inserted into somebody concerning this deadly situation of a legio. Thank you guys.
Oh yeah, y'all good. I already know y'all know how to talk and all that stuff. I mean, it's like when Aurelia was talking, everybody was wanting to cut in and stuff, and she couldn't get out what she was saying. But it's just like when one of y'all talking or whatever, you know, y'all notice that one person got the floor, just mute up and just let that person get whatever it is that they gonna say out, and then y'all just go ahead and go in with it, okay? Because I enjoy listening to it like everybody else, all right?
She
Okay.
said something before she dropped down. That was that's key. She said because we all have been manipulated at one time. And that's what I was wanting to tell the sister before she left. That's exactly what it's all about. This whole thing is about the manipulation of it all. This whole thing is about who is watching and who they can get out, who they can get attention in regards to. And I wanted to ask the queen, has she ever went into the research of what patsies are besides King World bringing it forward? That's why I said we got to sometimes in our getting information, we got to stay on target because we get swayed too much to and fro when the Most High already revealed. He brought out the other day about the handlers. He brought out all the time about the patsies, and also in regards to the crisis actors. I think sometimes you go and do this, not just trying to get the information just on here, but actually go look those things up yourself, because you will understand once you read and understand it. They do these with everyday people, and they are now doing this with everyday people. And what they are doing it for, these things is to get our attention. It's the public. It always was our attentions that they wanted. It was always trying to figure out how they can control the masses to push their agenda, and also to drive the masses to the slaughterhouse to keep the public dumb down. These are what all these psyops and things is about. Could you believe that everybody over there at one point of time, when the brother have already put up there that these are actors, and that even though they show, we seeing total brutality, it looks brutal, and that's what it's game to do. Is game to pull our spirit, it ripping our hearts from us, because it looks as if you watching a bad movie. How a movie can make you either cry or laugh at the end, or it takes you on a journey. Looking at this, that's what they moving the reality. They went to reality TV. They bringing it out into the YouTube streets. They bringing it out into your homes, because what they are trying to do is gather us all. They trying to gather us all to bring in these predators like Nature Boy. Now, are we doing our job? Yes, we are. The sister said one thing, and I'm just going to be quiet after this. She said, if the police is not going to do nothing, sweetheart, the police are not going to do things. You know why? Because as he brought up there many times before, and I'm not going to be swayed back and forth and all this, they are all in it. When you go into higher levels on levels and levels and levels of this thing, and you going up that going deep down in the rabbit hole, but yet up the ladder, you'll realize that all these entities are playing a part, and it's against you, it's against me. That's what it's all about. But we keep forgetting and trying to make them human. They not human like you and I. That's the part that they keep laughing, because they knowing that they sway in our emotions. And sometimes when our emotions get involved, we can be swayed anywhere and anyhow the puppet masters want us to go. We have to look at the things and try everything spirit to spirit. Try everything by the spirit, because when you begin to try everything by the spirit, you'll begin to look at things as though they really are. That's what I'm explaining. These are actors.
Miss,
I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, what you were saying about the actors, Z, what do you think about that, Z? You got anything to add on to that?
Yeah. Okay. First, I just got two comments, and I'm gonna make them quick, so everyone can get a chance. First of all, I want to reply to what the sister said. All of us are not being manipulated. All of us, we go through different things. That's number one. Number two, this is what I want to get to people. These people, they do not think how we think as normal people. I'm a mental health counselor. They mental thinking is totally different. They are characters. They are actors. That's number two. So what we would do, common sense, they're not going to do that common sense. For number one, we got to go back to the foundation. The apple don't fall far from the tree. All of these people, what they doing in carbonation, they did at home. They coming from home. They're leaving their foundation being how they are in carbonation. They was broken when they was at home. They were lazy when they were at home. They wasn't inspired. We can already see with the family how the family is, how the family, when they, some of them, when they do go home, the family is relaxed with them. I mean, how many of you normal people, if you did some stuff like this and you just go back home, your parents gonna actually just let you go back home? You've been gone from 3 years, you ain't did nothing, you have stole money. I'm just examples. You have stole money out of my account to take over to a cult, and you think you gonna come back in my house and just not do nothing? Our normal mothers would like you. I'm gonna shame you until you have common sense. But as we see with Velvet Mother is a prime example. Every time Velvet wants to leave, well, she can go home and do nothing. She can disrespect her father, disrespect her mother, disrespect her family, and her family still would let her back like everything is good. So the bottom line is these people, their characters and they broken. It's nothing common sense that you say to them will change them unless they want to leave, number one, and they go get some psychological help. Even look at the ones that left. They talked a lot of stuff, but not one of them said, I'm seeing the psychiatrist. Not one of them have said, "Oh, okay, I'm going to get some help, and I'm going to look for a job, and I'm going to go back to school." They still on the internet regurgitating 50 Nature Boy. And I notice, if you notice, every last one of these females that leave, what is it? They have that same pattern behind them. King World, that pattern, that round little with those little patterns
Yep.
in it.
And I said that today, and I was gonna see if anybody caught that shit right there, because I will show you a photo of Nate Terry with that same demonstration right there,
Yeah.
and I'm just
And,
like, come on
and
now,
not
sis.
only that, you notice Sybil. She got Sybil when she did that the video before this last one.
Uh-huh.
She did that video and she got those sparkling things. Natalia got those in her videos now. She looking like, I don't
Yep.
know, with that thing on top of her head. She makes them. She got all of these sparkling lights that all on her face. All in the
Can I tell you
video.
what that is, sister?
Go
Can I
ahead,
please
Mr. Reyes.
listen? Because you hitting on something. And honestly, I ain't been up here a while, brother, because you know I have to take my breaks a little bit. Listen. But my
I know
spiritual is
that's right.
going off.
Spiritually, you
My
got
root going off right now. Let me explain something. Because even in that, when you're dealing with the symbols, we have to understand what we're looking at here. All these symbols is to program the people. And when we say that we are woke and some are still now, because when you still let me tell you how they operate. Because we starting to hear these two words more and more, and it's not to discount her, discount anything you just said, my sister. Please don't take it that way.
No.
But I do want to say something, because I do want to bring it to my people, our people, attention of how this thing operate, and it floods down through the line. Because when they want to push a movement and an agenda, you'll start hearing it constantly over the airways, over the TVs, over the YouTubes. And it's that word narcissist, and it's that word mental health. Now, what they doing it? Can I break it down to you what's happening here? Because all this doing is, like I keep telling everybody, we are in a spiritual fight here. And the reason why is important, because it's something that you said, Zig, that was so important in regards to the children being in the homes. And when they could come in your homes and control your children mentally, because it's just like what I showed Brother World. You don't get that. You don't get no vivid than that, because they trying to put it in the town halls on everybody's state of the Baphomet statue in your town. In your town, downtown, they want the statue with the two little boy, the little girl looking up to the beast. What is that for? Where did we hear that word narcissist, and why do you hear it so much rampantly through the 2020 right now? It came through the celebrities. First, you start hearing them talk about how they breaking down and mentally, and everybody talk about you need to go to mental health and all these things. And what it is, and they talk about the word narcissist, and all it is they are hiding behind these demonic entities that they put in and masking with a name. So that you can always try to go fix that name versus the spirit that's there. It ain't no different than what Nature Boy does when he allows him to relive the trauma and the spirits stay there, and he allowed them to believe that there's no deliverance in what they got going on in their life. It's a room for darkness to stay, and light would never come in. So we have to be careful what we speak in regards to what we hear. Those are names that they masking up with as demonic entities over people's life to keep you in bondage, to keep your children in bondage. But when you understand that, oh no, hell, I see you, and I see how you came down through the celebrity line, and you got it all on the Breakfast Club, Charlemagne wearing the t-shirts, mental health, and all on this, it's all our minds is made up. They want y'all to stay drugged up, my people. They want to put you, listen, can I walk you somewhere? Come on, listen, hear me now. Can I hear? Listen, they want you to voluntarily put your own self into martial captivity. So that when martial law come through, all the ones that has been put behind the locks and in chains already, they ain't got to worry about to fight those. Because we already put you on medication, you see. We already got you to believe that you already crazy. And that demon is sitting there laying low like that. So it's gonna make it more where we don't have to fight that much in the street with the ones with their right mind and going against that beast. Stop calling these demons on yourself and on your children. I'm telling you what's real, people. I love my people. Listen, that demonic mental health, that demonic narcissist spirit, that's how it's coming down around. You heard that thing cross. Go back in your mind. Go back through all the channels that you ever visit on the interviews with the celebrities.
That's right.
Listen, I want everybody to do this later on after this live end. Look at how many times celebrities and how many celebrities came out within the past year talking about mental health and narcissism.
Yep.
You listen, whatever they want to push, they push it first through the celebrities first. And
let me interject for a second.
To the public.
Let me interject for a second, and I want to add.
Brother. I'm sorry.
Nah, you good. But stay unmuted though. But you good though. But I just want to add, even with that, they even was able to push that agenda by even having channel holders on social media to continue to say narcissists and narcissistic. See, every time that you say that word within itself, the entity that you're talking about, the only thing you're doing is giving them power. That's all that you're doing. Over and over again, narcissistic. He's a narcissist. All this shit, like what the fuck? Like y'all ain't start saying that shit till y'all start hearing these motherfuckers in the entertainment industry with all this mental health shit. You start seeing motherfuckers in straight jackets. You start seeing Kanye wearing Alista Crowley motherfucking shirt. Shit. Come on, man.
Come on, brother. I'm telling you, you begin to start chanting. You begin to start, because it's like I tell you all the time, it's like leading the sheep to the slaughterhouse. You be started chanting. Look, Hot Girl Summer came. What everybody start saying? Hot Girl Summer. Everything they want to put out there, anything they want to, you'll start seeing the public chanting everything that they and mimicking everything. That's why you got to go against the grain in what you see and what you're looking at.
Amen. You have to guard your mind and your heart.
You got to guard your mind
and watch what your eyes consume. The eyes is the gateway to the soul. So whatever your eyes is taking in, your soul is also taking in. Be careful what you allow into your throne room. Everything that goes across your mind doesn't belong in the throne room.
Come on.
Okay, let me interject real quick. I just want to comment on something. First of all, as I'm a mental health counselor, and I don't believe in the medicine. I try my best
I
to,
know that's right, sister.
right. I try, especially with our people. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it 100. With our Black people, I try my best to encourage my clients, my patients, that you don't need the medicine. What you need to do is get down dirty with what's going on. Let's talk about this molestation that your daddy and your brother did to you. You don't need the medication. You need to get down dirty with the molestation. When you need to deal with that. Once you deal with that and you open up that and you see where that trail is lead to, then you will understand more. But you don't need the medication, because on the DL, white folks want you to have the
Come
medication
on.
so they can keep making money off you.
And so that's why it's people like you. That's why I said I don't want to discount what you do, because when you
Oh,
understand it
no.
that way, my sister, when you
Yeah.
understand it that way, you people like you are necessary,
But
because
it's,
it
but,
make you it because see it you going against the grain of what nature boy
oh, yeah.
teaches. See, he teaches that we live in our demons. That's why you think he called it demons.
Exactly.
He
But,
know
Well,
what they are.
But Miss
They know what
Aurelia,
they
not
are.
to cut you
he,
off, let me
Okay,
tell
baby,
you,
go ahead.
it's not a lot of us, so it's hard at my work because I have to do it on the slide. I have to do it on the DL. You get what I'm saying? Because if they actually know, they gonna I'll be out of a job. So I have
mhm,
to indirectly with our people, with the melanated people, I have to
mhm.
indirectly deal with them. So if just for instance, if they from the projects, I have to go projects with them to get them to understand what I'm saying. You feel me?
And you brought up something that I need to be clear on when I'm speaking about when I'm talking about mental health. I'm not talking about the medicines, because right now I do have a therapist, and
Mm-hmm.
she's like a therapist form of me. She
Mm-hmm.
doesn't try to drug you up. I do not
Yeah.
believe in having anything over your mind.
Yes.
It's too easy for the chemical composition of your brain to be altered. Understand, people, with what you eat alone can chemically alter your brain. Do you really want a drug that will sit in your body for years on end to be
Mm-hmm.
present in your brain?
True. Mm-hmm.
That is a dangerous thing. There are
Mm-hmm.
certain things that you just should not introduce into your body to
Yes.
protect your mind, body, and spirit, because there are things that can go in, and once they are in there, they are hard to get out, and some will not come out once they've been placed in the body. So be aware of that.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, getting back on the subject,
Hmm.
um, when it comes to Sybil, like with carbonation, I don't put any emotions in it. I'm not like I was like I don't pray, but I was calling on the ancestors to help get these brothers and sisters out. But then I
Hmm.
had to like realize I had to do a Michael Jackson slide. They don't want to. They don't want to. So then it stay there. Just like like King World, just keep let the best. All we can do now, us on the outside looking in, is just let the awareness. And if we can prevent one female or male from going over there, that's a medal that we have won. That's the best we can do
Right.
on the outside looking in, because we got to remember a lot of them parents are in, they family members are in on it. Really, it take your family members, but some of the family members in on some of their family members honestly don't want them back. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of their family members probably got insurance on them. I'm keeping it real because they don't want them back because they probably was a problem anyway. I'm just being honest.
Well, you got to remember, when you're doing MK Ultra, there's certain things that you're going to look for, because not every personality is going to be congruent to taking the MK Ultra. You want people who are already wanting to escape reality.
Right.
Those
Broken.
are wonderful candidates for MK Ultra because you already got somebody who is constantly escaping reality in the first place.
That's
So
so
they
true.
you can't easily brainwash them and induce them into a trance.
I
Hmm.
have
So
a
there are
question.
some. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I just had a question for the panel. When I joined, someone was talking about the parents, like parents of Velvet and stuff. And my
Hmm.
Mhm.
panel was maybe one of the ladies that was dealing with mental health people is like Velvet's mom said she let her, didn't let her do anything and just let her do her little arts and crafts stuff and didn't really
Right.
help. And my question was for someone like Velvet, to the mental health person on the panel, what kind of mental help would she be institutionalized? Because I know Velvet has a sister in Florida, and I'm in Florida. In Florida, you have a thing called Baker Act people. When someone's not right or they need assistance, it takes away their rights where they are forced to stay somewhere for a period of time till they get their mind right or
Hmm.
issue is. I don't know what they have in Louisiana or wherever she's at now, but I know in Florida they do have that option where they can keep you and keep until you're stabilized or safe enough to yourself and others. So my question
Um.
is, what do y'all
Okay.
think of someone like Velvet who left?
Okay. Well, I can. She would. It would. I can't diagnose her. It would take someone to sit down and actually diagnose her, and that person would actually be a psychiatrist, and that person would sit and diagnose her, have her to play the little 6-year-old paintings that she do. He would
Mm-hmm.
have her doing stuff like that. He would have her messing around with the blocks, and he would sit and observe her. But we got to remember something. I don't know if any of you are aware of this, but last year, Velvet cousin did a live with another YouTuber and said that Velvet been had psychological problems from a young girl. Also, Velvet father even admitted that when him and his wife was driving her to school, she started acting crazy and spazzing out in the back seat, and he was going to drive her to the crazy house, but she calmed down and he took her on to school. So that's a blueprint right there that Velvet have some type of problem. We know Velvet have some psychological problem. It's just what type do Velvet have?
Got you. But yeah, I think that if she does go home or whoever she goes to, they should look into getting her tips, not just letting her see arts and crafts and you know I
You
just think
know,
she would need.
not to, but I come to find out real quick that like that old saying that we have, the apple don't fall far from the tree. To get to the root, you got to get to all the parts of the tree to heal. To actually heal yourself, we got to pull in everybody. It's best. So you got to get to the part of the tree. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is just my honest opinion, and I'm very analytical. I analyze everything. Analyzing Velvet's mother, no disrespect to her father. Analyzing her father even said that he was trying to start a cult himself. So what does that tell you? He said he was trying to start his own cult.
And that they sold their child out.
So what?
And see, those are the people again MK Ultra look
I
for,
know.
especially if you already been in a cult,
Come
then
on.
you're already the work has already been done. All they have to do
Mm-hmm.
is put in a new personality and keep it moving.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
they especially want somebody like Velvet who grew up with a man who wants to start a cult, because know and
Exactly.
understand he already groomed her to be in a cult.
Well, we gonna. I want to first put out a BP
Most
on.
likely.
I want to first put out a BP on Velvet because until my brother world showed us that she is really with her family, Velvet is right in that next
Exactly.
room with Eligio for the psyop story. And
Exactly.
the reason why I say this is because right after she so called left in the middle of the night at 1 o'clock in the morning, uh my brother World had just got on Eligio head because he was talking very dark and derogatory in front of that child, in front of that baby. And they had to save face in regards to what he had put out over the live in one of his drunken spews.
I remember
So
that.
all of a sudden, she's around. She's around.
I don't think she's not gone. She's around. She's not going nowhere. She's right there. And they, like you said, in another room, and they keeping that baby quiet.
Yes, that's the actor. She's a good actress. That she's a good actress.
And then I'm
We
gonna play
seen her
devil advocate.
aspiring actress and all
I'm
of
gonna
that.
play
Yes.
the advocate. She may be gone, but she coming back. She may be gone.
Listen,
but I don't
listen.
believe it.
I always put it like this: when they leave carbonation, their body could physically be gone, but their spirit is captured still there.
Oh yeah, the spirit.
Because
Yeah.
until it's real deliverance in these people's lives, they are still there. She's not going anywhere. I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
she's there.
if she's not there physically, she's there spiritually. I know what you're saying, but she's still there. You know, it's just
No, I
it's
think she's physically there as well. Like I said, and until I see different, and she comes out and she's with,
exactly.
I see her mom or her dad on the side of her. I think she's there because this come right after that lie. That when that horrible lie, when he was talking about all that he would do for as giving woman
Yeah,
head and all this kind of
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
in detail, and you can hear that baby in the back. And you know the reason why I say this? Because
You see, Miss Aurelia, Miss Aurelia. Okay, she'll come back. They probably messing with her.
Messing
They
with that
messing with
string. That's what it is. It's how they tear that signal up
her.
whenever she start touching on that thing and do that.
Yeah, whenever her energy and her spirit get that's they start doing that. She'll come back in. But yeah, I believe that she right next door in another Airbnb.
I agree with you.
Because if she was, it's like I'm like if until I see her like with some family, that girl is she in another Airbnb. That's where she is. She just in another Airbnb. And like Miss Aurelia said, after he did that dark, demonic, nasty, disrespectful live about choking up women, she disappeared. She said she left at 1 a.m. Like really? So where she go at 1 a.m.? 1 a.m. and you supposed to be in out of the United States. Where she go at 1 a.m.? On the island that she know, on the island. Listen, on the island, be in the water. Where she go with a baby? What at 1 a.m. 1 a.m. in the morning with a baby. Where she gonna go at? Come on now. And they supposed to be alleged in the tropics. Where the hell she gonna go at 1 a.m. and not come back? Next.
Yeah, people really need to let common sense be common because some of the things that Master Shirtbus says never adds up. And he does
No.
things just to get a reaction because you got to remember with his spiritual workings, he needs your emotions to further along the stuff that he's doing. So he's purposely engaging people and making sure that they come at his throat because all of that negativity is going into what he's doing. Now, granted, he is still Master Short Bus, but at the same time, he is also manipulating the people who are coming into his lives and watching them. And heaven forbid if you're smarter than him, you're definitely not going to be on his live very long talking to him.
But you know
Because he
what?
can't have anything dispersing that energy from him.
Yeah, but also this just shows you how many people out here just like crazy. I'm just being honest. For him to be able to pull these many people, this just shows you how many people walking around spirit is broken or that weak.
I agree, but you also got to remember when you have populations looking at TV for 7 hours a day,
Yeah,
the
programming.
TV
Yep.
itself will induce a trance into people.
Yep.
So things
Yes, it
that you
will.
may not have been cool with before you were watching exactly what they call it programming, you'll now be cool with because you don't spend 7 hours a day consuming it.
That's true. That's
And
true.
eventually that stuff leaks right on down into your subconscious mind, which is why they're
That's
trying to bring forth shows about pedophilia being okay,
mm,
pushing the line because in order for it to get accepted into society first, they're going to put it out into the media to be consumed. So
mm,
you'll be okay with it because it's been normalized to you. You have been desensitized to it. That's why it's so important that when you see this mess, like with World News, what he does, he brings it up and asks you, "Are you really okay with this?" Because those questions have to be asked. Because there's a lot of people who are into escapism that don't want to critically think, and they're more than happy to let somebody think for them. Point in case, Nesium, Master Short Bus, you see countless cults popping up because you have a population that does not want to be accountable for themselves. They
mm.
don't want to be accountable for their own lives. They don't want to critically think. And when you get
Yeah.
a society that doesn't critically think, you well on your way to that society collapse.
Mm.
Can I interject a bit?
Mm-hmm.
I feel everything you saying about, these cults and taking over people, but can we just laugh on the fact that Kaja is up in the chat lurking? Like, ha ha ha. But anywho, like, I just feel like it's just like overall, like Eligio is a little minion in this.
Yep.
He's like a little baby elite puppet. He already did the 50. So that was his little humiliation, So he just going through the runs and we're just watching. But,
Exactly.
I
I completely
guess
agree.
overall, we just got to be mindful of, just not getting caught up in the foolishness because we know
Exactly.
Babaji, Clubfoot, Krusty Nuts or Krusty Ball, he's just a character.
Yeah, his
So,
little Vienna
you
sausage getting
know,
shown to people. I'm like, what in the world, man? Come on, with the Vienna sausage. What? What on
no,
earth?
she's all good. I was just, no
No, I'm
rudeness,
going to
but
call it a Vienna sausage because because it's attached to
but
Master Short
no,
Bus,
like,
so
I
I'm
mean,
glad you call it
really,
that.
it's like spiritual warfare. We got to be mindful. I'm gonna piggyback
Definitely.
off of Sister Aurelia because it really is spiritual warfare. Like, he gets a lot of attention, and it's really we see what it is. It's really just
Mhm.
a bunch of madness and chaos and controversy. Like I know I watch these videos, I be getting riled up, punching the air like wavy, like nah, like you know what I mean, like so you just
Yeah,
got to
be
be
mindful.
mindful. That's all I'm saying. Like I
As,
be just be watching everything, and I be in the shit. So
yeah,
I'm just
because that's
saying,
a.
like, everybody gotta be mindful because it's really
I
crazy.
agree.
Like even with that fight video, I watched that fight video. I had a
Oh my
crazy ass dream.
goodness.
I'm like, this ain't right.
Oh
So you gotta
my
be
goodness.
mindful. Like
You
this
you,
shit,
you had
this
a dream
little
nature boy
Eligio
kicking
demon,
your ass with
that
them
shit is
feet.
real.
You had a
That's
dream nature
because
boy
No
kicking your ass with them feet.
now, try to see your everybody's. You need to behave yourself. I need
disclaimer.
to see the everybody's world.
Oh,
I haven't
crazy.
seen them yet.
Man, the
Where's my
motherfucker.
everybody's at?
Oh, I got you. I'm gonna make sure I add a screen for them elbow bodies. I got you. I might have to post a video of that motherfucker, man. That's word up. Shout out to TKO, man, for the elbow bodies for real though.
Oh, crazy. Oh.
Y'all, we
Sister,
gonna close out. Y'all want to make any last statements on this? Because I might be coming back in the building later on too, man. We might have some other developing shit that take place too, man.
I
We got
do.
to get out here.
I do.
I
I
just
want
want
to
to say this real quick. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut
go,
across you.
go ahead.
I
Go
just
ahead.
want to say this real quick. Observe, but don't react. Do not allow this man to take your emotions and use it for his nefarious purposes.
Mm.
And I know it can be hard, but you do not want to attract the lower entities that he's working with, because there's a lot of lower entities that are feeding off of people's reactions. So do not participate in being a buffet for these entities and for Master Short Bus. I'm good now. I'm done. Thank you for having me, World.
Okay.
Hey, world. If I may, y'all, this is my first time in World. No, I've been following him since Kanika Jenkins. First, I want to give accolades to him. You're doing such an awesome job with your panel and your page. Even the ladies, I'm a babe. I stay in the bushes, but I do support. I want to give actually everyone that was on the panel. I want to let y'all know y'all really fed my soul and confirmed a lot of things, because I am one of the chosen ones, but I stay in the bushes to learn, because they just challenged me by taking my one and only son, and then turned around this weekend, take my one and only cousin on both sides, like I raised her this weekend, over drugs. But to get back to what you guys were talking about, the My Three Kids, matter of fact, all of y'all, what's her name? I don't want to mispronounce her name, Aurelia. Okay, I want to say this about her. It's for some reason, I have to throw this out there. When I started noticing World way back when he first started following Nature Boy, I was in the bushes, and we all know what the stuff we went through in that Kanika Jenkins case. But anyway, I just knew that he was different. You understand? So I always did follow him. But when you started following him and pulling out the spiritual thing, all things that you guys said, I'm going to say that y'all helped me so much. And I have to stay in the bushes to learn my spiritual journey. You understand? And sometimes it's best to just be quiet. That's why he give us 2 ears and 1 mouth. I'm at the point I just need to hush, but I had to get on this panel because you guys touched on a lot of things. And I want to say this, even the whole agenda in the cult, the higher ups, the control, the manipulations, us feeding. I mean, when I say us, I don't mean us in general, but us feeding Satan, the grabbing of the vulnerable and the weak, that they know have mental issues, the ones that's been locked up, that they give a deal, that they come and make work for them, the mentally emotional damage that's happening to the people with these social media sites. It's been an agenda, and you guys have touched on all of that tonight. When I say all of it, when I say this was an awesome live, when I hang up, I'm going to share it, because it's time. The Most High, I said this a long time ago, it's time for exposure and elevation. Well, you're being elevated. All you ladies up here gave a lot of valid points. The chat gives a lot of valid points. And listen, the thing is, the ones that are woke, and like one of you guys said, you say you woke, are you woke? Because see, that MK Ultra, that mind control, that soul seeker, that physical snatcher, that murder, that kill, that destroy, and that conquer, like y'all said, if you pay attention, the only thing they're talking about is narcissism and mental health. That's it. And the elites will, and I want to just say this, the elites will allow those who work with them to only reveal what they want them to reveal. I think Aurelia said this, and she said the only thing is, when you're seeking, see, they know who's seeking for that fame and that fortune, and they know, you know what I'm saying, like, so they're gonna offer you, like, y'all know the word, y'all know what is out there. But I just want to say, listen, Velvet, like y'all said, Ben had problems when she was in high school and college. I've been following it for a long time. I knew Nature Boy before I knew a world, and that's real talk. So I'm glad to hear you women, hear the men, everybody in the chat. It's war, it's a spiritual warfare going on. And you guys, I want to tell y'all in the right direction. I don't give a hell or high word or how much you attack. Please keep going on for people such as myself. That's all I want to say. You guys be blessed.
Thank you.
World.
Bless you.
Man, you know what, I gotta say this. I love you for keep standing, no matter how much I watched you be attacked. I told you I'm a bush babe.
It's all
I
good.
watch you get attacked.
That's free promotion.
But
That's free promotion.
You built for it. Thank you. You built for it. It's free promotion. and you got a beam team. Okay. On that
Yep.
note, y'all, good
Oh yeah,
night.
we good. All right,
Yes.
thank you for calling in
Yes.
for real, man, and for everybody that's tuning in, man. Hey, anybody can call in. It's all good. Like I say, when we have these open panel discussions, I be wanting to hear that work from y'all because I be on here talking all the damn time. But like I said, I'm gonna let y'all get y'all final
Oh,
statements on this one. I'm gonna close out for Coco get mad at me and
all
shit.
right.
I'm about to fight this
Okay, so
dude.
real quick, I just want to apologize to the brother King TKO for my some thoughts I had about him. I thought he had got trapped up into the nasty boy 50 take a download nature boy, but I see that he's on point. He got his stuff together, he got his head together, and he knows what he's doing. So I want to say to you, my brother, my king, TK Capone, I apologize for those thoughts I had about you. And I'm still proud of you. Keep doing your thing, my brother. Keep your head on. And remember this, when you want advice, watch the people you ask for advice from. Always remember that when you pick up that phone, make sure this is for all of us. If you want advice, you need to talk to somebody. Analyze the people that you're calling, because those people that you're calling may not be good people to listen to. Try and find that subconscious voice that we all have, that the creator gave us, that's level-headed. You can do it yourself. When you're crying out, you can do it yourself. You can heal yourself. Bless my brothers and sisters. King Roy, you know it's always. All right, y'all.
Already, I appreciate you coming up as always. You know you always welcome, as with everybody that's up here.
I'm about to roll me a fat one. No, keeping it 100. My kush. Yes.
Hey, nine times out of ten, we'll be back in the building, man. We'll do the late night with the late night. I'll see if I can't get y'all back up here.
All right, bless brothers and sisters. Be safe.
Bless you,
Already,
sweetheart.
family. Sakina, Aurelia, y'all want to close out on anything? Aurelia, you got any closing statements, Sakina?
Yes.
I just want to say,
Yeah. Okay. Go.
World, I appreciate you. You get me through some of my work days, and that's all I gotta say about it. I'm a supporter. Like, I come off as silly, but I be on some real shit. But that's all. Y'all have a good night.
That's what's up. And come back, Sakina.
Good
Like for
night,
real
Queen.
though. You know what I'm saying? You can always come and chill. Even if you ain't even talking on the panel, you can come and chill. I done had people that chill for about 30 minutes one time. So it's all to the good, all right? We got
All
you
right.
over here.
All right. Peace.
Brother, I just want to just leave the last remarks to our sisters and brothers, because the more I began to go on to this character of Eligio, um, we have to think. I was wondering, and I'm gonna keep it short. What do they want by sending Nature Boy out? And we have to say the same thing that they've been doing through the years, that when we was blinded and programmed and didn't understand how the system and how the government, this false government, or what we thought was a government, was actually how it's ran and what it was all about. It's about the numbers. Just like they look for you to tune in for your soul and get your capture your the programming you and capturing your undivided attention through your favorite program. That's no different, because as that numbers goes up, that's how many souls is captivated on that, where they can get in there and get into your homes. Why is that important? Is because your babies, the babies, we keep going to the babies, because he even said that when he got Velvet, she was 19 years old. They want your babies because if they don't have to have them there physically with them, they want the soul spiritually with the babies, so that they can be able to do what they want to do, and to control the atmosphere in your homes by disobedience, by falling your making your children heart fall away from everything that you taught them about how to be moral, and also to pull you, not only you, but your children away from the Most High. I just want to leave everybody with this, my brother. It's a rumbling in the air. The earth is tilting over. And what is that rumbling? I'm telling you guys, because you can feel it in the atmosphere. It's a spiritual warfare going on. And this is why I come. And when I come, I'm always giving, turn away anything that's not like the Most High. Y'all come on, let's get it together before the Most High, because there is a spiritual war. And wherever that line is drawn, and whoever line that you on up on the side of, that's what you want to get. You don't want to get caught up. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to get caught up in the evil and wickedness of what's coming this way, especially after today. What's coming through the atmosphere is no joke. And Satan has loosed his legions on this place. This is no joke. So this is what I'm saying. They coming after your undivided attention. And I hate to say, I heard the sisters talk about the TKO, but brother, we'll get on that one. I want to really talk to you about that. I really want to talk to you about that, because I got information on that situation as well. They are sending these people out. They are sending these people out, my sweethearts. Listen to what I'm saying. They are sending these people out, and it's to pull your mind and your heart away from the one that's you supposed to be given all to, and that's the Most High himself. They took us away from the love of our life. And that's what Satan is aimed to do. On that note, I love you guys. I pray that the Most High keep his hand of protection upon all of you that's under the sound of my voice. Let the holy angels of love and war encamp around every home. Let not evil be able to cross y'all threshold, premises, or personal bodies in any way, shape, form, and fashion. And on that note, I would say, Armand, love you, my brother. And we definitely wanted to some things that I found out. But yeah, on that note, I will drop off now.
Indeed. So, sis, you already know. Text me up. Let me know what's going on. All right. All right. Indeed. Let me see if I'm gonna have to refresh to the refresh, man. I go ahead and do the official closing out. I want to say shout out to everybody that came through. Let me make sure I'm clear anywhere. I'd have hit y'all with the damn Don Cornelius and all that stuff like that or whatever. But shout out to everybody that came through. Make sure that you like this video if you haven't already. Share the live stream. Bring a few people in. When the open panel discussion jumping off, like I say, anybody can come through. Whatever you got to say, we definitely want to hear it. For the people that's been tuning in, for the people that are not rocked to sleep, make sure that you continue to tune in to the Livest Network. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Okay, family? Enjoy your night. Like I say, if I need to come back through, I'll be back through, whether it's the mix or whatever. I got y'all. Just hit me and let me know what's going on, and we'll do what it do. All right, fam.